All right. Good morning and welcome to the Donut Shop at the beginning of the world. I am your host, Dr. Mark Merriweather Vorderbruggen, drinker of coffee, not eater of donuts today. The doors are open. Hey, good morning, Wade. How are you doing in this somewhat stormy day? Do you guys get hit by any of those storms? Hey, Clayton. Good to see you. So, Kimberlyn, Seville, hey. Hey, Seville, thank you again for your generosity. I really, really appreciate it. Oh, wow. So Monday morning, but not a true Monday. It is a morning of thanks. Good morning, Kathleen. All right, you got to go to work. So, okay. Hey, good morning, Tina. Yeah, so today, Memorial Day, honor of those who have served and never returned. So shout out to anyone with relatives, loved ones, or otherwise have a person in that situation where they never returned from their military service or Coast Guard service, I guess counts too. Just rain for more and more days. Yeah, my garden is looking fantastic. We're really needing this. But I thought I would today. I would talk just a little bit about some of the military members of my family who are no longer here. Side note: the military service is something that's fairly respected in our family, and I actually tried to get into both the Army and the Air Force, but neither would have me due to childhood damage. I guess when you have all your ribs broken and not really put together quite right. The military goes, you know what? Nah, there are better, healthier specimens of humanity than you. So anyway, a shout out to Uncle Ray and Uncle Larry and Uncle Gerald and Adriana, cousin Adriana. All of them were military. Of the four, the only one who actually died in service was cousin Adriana. I never actually knew her, but she was up from Minnesota. She was like 3 sides of the family over. But Adriana Vorderbruggen, she was killed by a roadside IED. Oh, man, 2014. It was interesting. It happened right after my book came out. Or actually, no, before my book came out, but after I got paid for it, right around the same time. But I used the money from the book to take the family on a Disney cruise. Hey, good morning, Lenore. Yeah, so while we were on the cruise, we ran into another set of Vorderbruggens who we weren't aware of that live up in Dallas, but we were able to figure out, where the family connection was. Because if you're a Vorderbruggen, you are connected somehow. Anyway, while we were on the ship, on the cruise, hanging out with these other Vorderbruggens, they got contacted by the news. Several news agencies. They had better cell phone coverage than we did. And turns out, a day or two after the cruise started, the Air Force officer, I can't remember now her rank, I want to say lieutenant, I'm sorry, Adriana, but Adriana Vorderbruggen was killed, and so they were looking for people who knew her or family members to talk about her because she was the first openly gay Air Force officer. But she and several others were killed in a roadside bomb. And when we came back home, after the cruise, then our answering machine was loaded with all these news agencies. Every Vorderbruggen in the phone book had been contacted because this was a special interest story. Brogans, hey. So, but yeah, Adriana, she was the only Vorderbruggen I'm aware of that was killed during service. On my mom's side, Uncle Ray, he was actually in the Navy during World War II. He was on a smaller sized warship, and I can't remember the one. We have a picture of it somewhere, and I have the name somewhere. But he was in the Battle of Midway. Hey, good morning, Dion. So, yeah, Battle of Midway, big, huge naval battle. He was in other naval battles too, but that was the main thing. He worked down in the engine room. He was basically one of the guys shoveling coal into the burners. and during battles, they would seal all the waterproof doors and lock them in. So he had no idea what was going on. He just got commands, shovel frantically, stop shoveling, shovel frantically, and hearing, explosions and stuff through the hull and the water, and just being absolutely terrified, because if something happened, they would go down and he would not be able to get out of the engine room. And, either he would drown or suffocate or, die in the darkness. Hey, good morning, Sherry. And so it had a pretty strong effect on him. He survived the war. He came back. And maybe Mom will correct me again on this. But whenever he was in a house or a building or a room, he would just make sure a window is cracked just a little bit. Just open enough so, make sure it opened. If he had to get out, he could get out. But Uncle Ray, I loved him. He was really funny. Many good memories going over to this place. A great laugh. You know how some people just have a great laugh? That would be, that would be Uncle Ray. And then he was the oldest of Mom's family. And then there was Uncle Gerald, who also has passed away. He got old, he got sick, not military death, but he was stationed up in the Aleutians, up in Alaska. And I want to say he was Air Force. Oh, wow, Michelle. My granddad flew a Thunderbolt escorting bombers. That's awesome. And documented as an ace. As an ace, do you have to have 5 kills or how many kills? I don't remember. But Uncle Gerald, he was the uncle that whenever he visited, he'd always give us kids like a shiny silver dollar or, money, which, yeah, frankly, when you're 8, 9, 10, you look forward to that. And up in the, I still got a number of the silver dollars he gave me. So they're kind of special. Very, very nice man, very handsome man. My dad's a handsome man, and Uncle Gerald was also very handsome. Hey, Michelle, 5. Okay, wow, that's impressive. And a Thunderbolt, cool. But yeah, so he was the one that took over grandfather's farm after grandfather got too old to keep farming, and so many times out there working on the farm, helping out. Just a great, generous man. And then Uncle Larry, on my dad's side, he was in the Army and he drove a truck. And again, if you're out there, correct me, but my understanding is that they would have truck driving Olympics in the military, and he ended up being one of the top truck drivers in the military. Then later on, he became a trucker, as did a number of the members of his family, driving a milk truck, as well as having his own dairy farm. You can't survive just on farming. You haven't been able to survive just on farming for the last 40 years, probably. But to them, thank you for your service, and thank you for any other out there who have served and are no longer with us. We have all this because of what you gave us, so thank you. It makes sense that you have the Viking mug tonight, or today. Okay, so yeah, Memorial Day. That's the day, it's not just the 3-day weekend with sausages and coleslaw and stuff like that. It is to remember why we have our freedom. So that's what I got. Good people. I've been blessed with a lot of my relatives are really, really, really neat. Hey, good morning, Chief. My boss is here. Everyone look like good. Don't embarrass me. Okay. Yeah. It's one of those days. It was always kind of it wasn't that big growing up in our family per se, because like everyone knew people who had served and didn't make it back. Yeah, this is the most awesome mug ever. I don't know if you know the story, Seville. I actually found the predecessor, the same mug, at a flea market in Minnesota when I was visiting my parents. and picked up for $3, and it became my coffee mug at work because they wanted us to have, reusable coffee mugs, and I wanted, something that stood out a little. And then a few months ago, it got broken and shattered, and Tina Marie found an exact replacement on eBay for me and sent it off, and here it is. Yeah, so remember, everyone here at the donut shop, when Medicine Man Plant Company is out and running, and we have products, you're all gonna like buy stuff, right? Yeah. Okay. Cool. They built ships. That's cool. Down in like the East Coast shipyards, Lenore, or where were they building the ships? Or over on the West Coast? As shipbuilding is a neat thing. I wonder. So my grandfather, Hank Henry Vorderbruggen, was a metal worker. He worked on trains for a long time, but I wonder if he did anything with the a bird just flew by. I wonder if he did any, I wonder what he did during World War II. Don't know. Oh, a couple of Budweiser Clydesdale mugs. Cool. Then he said Budweiser, great horses, beer. Hey, good morning, Chris. Yep. So coming out soon, the immune pill, the brain pill, the liver pill, and the male libido pill. Here in Houston. Oh, wow. Okay. I guess there was some shipbuilding here, wasn't there? Yeah. What was it? The Hotel San Luis down there on Galveston actually is built over some big gun emplacements that are still there. You can access them. Well, you're not supposed to access them through the basement, but I've heard you can get to them. Okay, in the Port of Houston. Cool. Hey, good morning, Kelly. Yes, happy Memorial Day. We were talking about, military members who are no longer with us. Good morning, Aaron. So yeah, we were supposed to get together with the friends today for like supper tonight, but that got canceled because it's supposed to be just absolutely storming, and they have a beautiful backyard, which is where we were planning on hanging out. Just do the whole social distancing, and the COVID-19 gets destroyed by sunlight and stuff. But now it's supposed to be storming and hail and sheep falling from the sky, and so it's been canceled. Hey, good morning, Charles. Yeah, hey, you got a job. That's what counts. Oh, I wonder if Mark Kevin is going to show up. Had some news for him. Okay. What else we got going on? It's Monday, big week, lots going on. Yes to the response that Charles Osborne has a job. Like I said, the latest unemployment numbers are absolutely horrifying. We've exceeded the Great Depression. We'll see what happens. It sounds like I was surprised, because I found this news article yesterday. Hey, good morning, John. Coffee by the lake. Cool. Are the fish jumping? What lake? Or shouldn't I ask? But anyway, so hey, coffee from a stein. Just go for it, man. But so anyway, so unemployment, broken down almost by county across the nation. Good morning, Alicia. And I was surprised actually at how well Houston was doing in light of the oil prices. So let me just adjust. Oh, wait, you know what? Oh, sorry. I just realized I'm not using the camera I thought I was using. Excuse me. I have to set my coffee down. I don't think I can change it, but oh well. Okay, sorry. Easily distracted. Ooh, shiny squirrel. Yeah. Oh wow. Hail twice in Acadia Parish yesterday. Hey, good morning, Margarita. Lake Nasworthy in West Central Texas. Ooh, okay. I'm just running through my head. I have not been to Lake Nashworthy. I was laid off, bus driver. So you're checking groceries at HEB. Yeah, something is better than nothing. And hey, and don't knock grocery store. My third real job was started out as a bag boy, and then became a stalker, and then a cashier, and then night manager for a grocery store. So it was fun. That was some of my best times. that's when I realized that even when you're out of high school, because I was like doing it through college and stuff, you never leave high school. Even, you know, and I'm still friends with at least one of the people that I worked with, you know, like 30 years ago. And we both agree that, you know, every job is just high school over and over again. Chris, is foraging popular because people are worried about societal collapse? Oh, I got to put this up here because we just have a great topic here. Okay, isn't this cool? Thank you, Wazoo Survival. I haven't seen Nick here, but he's allowing me. He's paying for the stuff that allows me to do all this funky, neat stuff on the broadcast. Oh, good morning, Mike. So, Chris, to answer your question, yes. In a nutshell, the foraging books are wiped out at Amazon. For years, the Amazon had my book at $14 and change. And how do I then get rid of that? And now they have it, you know, which was $6, almost $6 under, no, almost $7 under the manufacturer's suggested retail price. Now it is $22.99. Talking to all the other forager instructors behind the scenes, we have a little network of, you know, fungal communication. They are, all their books are sold out. They're getting requests, you know, through the roof for classes and all this sort of thing. Same here. So yeah, there is a huge, I guess we'll call it fear. I don't know what else is driving it, but yeah, there's a huge fear that there could be issues with the food supply. I mean, of course the news is hyping it up, you know, no more meat, no more beans, no more corn, things like that. And so people are going, you know what? Well, like I said in the interview, there's all this green stuff around me. Some of it's got to be edible. So yeah, the number of followers that have become fans of the Facebook page, Foraging Texas Facebook page and Instagram, has, you know, usually I was getting like 100 a week. Now I'm getting as many as 25 a day, new fans. So somehow I got to convert that into money. Oh well, haven't successfully succeeded in that yet. Yeah, Leonard, you got yours at the pre-order discount price. Man, so you've been around for a while. Thank you. Thank you. Squirrels, yep, good source of food. Love me squirrels. So like I said, some of my favorite meat is probably squirrel meat. Yeah. It's, I mean, things are looking better. But in the Wall Street world, in the investing world, there's a thing called the dead cat bounce, where like in the stock market goes cratering and then hits bottom and then starts to rise up again for a bit, and then it's a false rise, and it's just the dead cat bouncing when you throw it out of the building. Oh, cool. Mike, after your class, we were able to identify and start to eradicate China berries from our East Texas property. Good. Those things are bad, poisonous, and deadly to the other plants and animals. And yeah, so cool. Oh, Dion, hey, thank you. Increased numbers because you talk about me all the time. Thank you. Here's to Dion. You get a special tribal hug. What about the Brood 9 locusts? Will they be able to eat them in East Texas? Not sure what you're talking about, Kimberly. Brood 9 locust, will they be able to eat them in the East? I'm assuming if it's a locust, it's edible, if that's what you're talking about. Probably pretty tasty, too. Nope, train, if you can hear it. But yeah, for multiple reasons, people have realized that food security has become more important. Saw this a bit back in 2016-ish, and some even 2008. 2008, the crash back then was part of the impetus to start doing all this. Wade, yes, I am still working on them very slowly. But yes, so as far as Texas A&M and I are concerned, a big part of that will depend on the sales of the medicinal plant book, that the first one coming out. So I expect that to sell well, and then they'll go, yeah, okay, we're good with the rest. So, yeah, the cicadas, yeah, what is it? Every 17 years, whatever the cicadas come out, they're not as good as the locusts from an eating point of view, actually. Okay, wow, this is gonna sound bad, but after thinking about eating cicadas, it makes me want some shredded wheat because it's kind of the same. Oh, the great eastern brood of cicadas. Yeah, I would think you could eat them. I mean, they're what's the word I'm looking for? They're not in any of the poisonous classes of insects that I know of. Hey, Brita, good morning. How's Lars doing? Haven't seen news in a while. Hopefully everything is good. And didn't you have at least one daughter graduate this year too, or am I off by a few years? But Brita and I went to grad school together. So way back at RPI, upstate New York. She's from New Jersey, still living in New Jersey, I believe. Cool. Yeah, so I'll print a little PDF. So, Aaron, that's one thing I've been looking at, and we still haven't figured out how to make it so, is offer each page of the Foraging Texas website as a downloadable PDF for a few bucks, or like $1 or something like that, $2, and then you could like build your own book, sort of thing. Chris, have you learned any plant uses that aren't food that could be useful in impending doom of the apocalypse? Of course, there's all the medicinal uses. So lots and lots of medicinal plants. Then even things like cordage and fire starters and seasonings, and because seasonings are a big thing. Fermentable, make alcohol from. Barrier plants. Like pyrocanthia and trifoliate oranges, where they have the big thorns, a honey locust, using as a perimeter defense. So yeah, there's lots of multiple uses. Okay, Kim, they're ready. West Virginia, Virginia, and North Carolina this year. The cicadas. Kelly, you can't tie dental floss around the cicada's neck, and they fly like a toy airplane, round and round. I've seen that. I always wanted to do that, but my hands are too big to do that. Oh, wow. Finish a first freshman year. Hanging in there. Cool. Whenever I see your request for prayers, Brita, for Lars, I pray, because I know I've known him almost as long as I've known you, actually. So, whew, what else we got going on? So yeah, so barrier plants, any of the thorny ones. Okay, Charles Osborne, forage question. Let me just pop this up here. What is the distance from the road highway you recommend in your classes for picking plants? Okay, so Charles, there's a couple of things that come into play here. One of the big ones is how busy is the road? Like if it's I-45, too busy. The main toxins that come from the cars, the biggest one is the dust from the tires. Remember, as you're driving, your tires are wearing down. That's why you got to get new tires every 50,000 miles or whatever, depending on the tires you get. And the rubber in those are strengthened by some different somewhat toxic heavy metals, or they're just kind of in there naturally during the potash and other things that they add to it. So the dust from the road tires is something you have to make sure you at least wash off of. Also, just any automotive drippings. So oil, antifreeze, things like that can just, as the cars are driving by, you got an old beater and it's dripping, that can run into the ditch. But on your basic country road, where you get maybe 200 cars a day, that's actually you're not going to get a lot of chemicals from there. But basically figure, where are those chemicals going to go? Especially the dust, it's going to be more wind. So if there's something that blocks the dust from flowing deep into whatever land, so if it's a road through the woods where the trees are blocking the wind, most of the dust is going to stay right there. So 50 feet into the woods will be fine, absolutely fine. if it's a big open prairie, you're heading out towards West Texas, out by Ozona, or whatever the name of that place in the middle of nowhere is, and there's nothing, no trees or anything for miles, and there's only a few roads that get fairly heavy used because they've been there for a long time, then you might want to see. But okay, basic rule of thumb after all that babbling is look at the plants themselves. If they look strong and healthy, there's unlikely that they are being contaminated and damaged by any sort of chemicals. Someone pointed out, culverts, where there's a culvert under a road or under a driveway. A lot of times it's just easier to spray that with pesticide or herbicide to keep it clear rather than go in and pull the plants by hand. Oh, we got lots of people showing up here. So, little used roads, you can go pretty close to it. I mean, right up to the edge. And then the more traffic and the fewer blockages between the contaminants and the wild, the farther you have to go. It's kind of a judgment call. And, there's also how much are you taking, what I recommend really, if you're concerned about it, is gather seeds from there and then transplant the seeds to some place where you might feel, is cleaner. Hey, good morning, Chris. Oh, cool. Leonard, thank you. Leonard is saying, your website is so comprehensive, it's easy to look up plants I can only describe. Yeah, a lot of people miss that you can actually search by fruit color and flower color and time of year and type of plant and all this stuff. It just takes scrolling down a little. I will say I'm in the process of completely changing the website, but this is like at least probably going to take a year. Like right now, it is just a hacked version of Blogger. I'm setting up to move over to WordPress and then have a lot more search features and completely change the layout. Lots going on behind the scenes. The downside of that, the Flickr is what I'm using for hosting the pictures right now. That's pretty much going under. That's going away. So I have to switch over to Cloudinary to support all the pictures. And with the number of pictures and everything I have, that's going to be $100 a month. Just to host the pictures for the website. So we're looking how to scrape that together. Other things like that. Hey, good morning, Gary. Good morning, Annette. Yep, Leonard, get the seeds. Yep, and Grace, yeah, the herbicide. Oh yeah, around signage too. I didn't think about that. So along billboards and so forth, a lot of times they'll spray herbicide. Thank you. Let's see. Margarita, is Sambucus canadensis deciduous in Texas? Yes, it loses its leaves, Margarita. Margaret. Anyway, so yeah, the elderberry here in Texas, it does lose its leaves. If it's not losing its leaves, my guess is you're actually looking at arrowwood. Okay. Okay. Lived in a condo at 59. Okay. Then so the Arboretum, downtown Houston, very clean. The woods do a good job of testing or of filtering things. There's also been some really interesting studies done in Boston and in Minneapolis, St. Paul, where they've monitored the soil and the plants, and in particular the edible plants, along some of the big roadways there. I can't remember what the big road in through Boston is, with the one that they dug under Boston and put it under there. And anyway, long story short, is that they found that most of the plants were actually very, very clean of any bad chemicals. And they said they were on par or even better than a lot of the grocery store stuff, because the grocery store stuff, a lot of it still had traces of pesticides and bad things like that. Whereas the weeds in the sidewalks and the alleys and the underpasses was fine. So it's pretty cool. I need coffee. Yeah, I've been using Flickr since 2004, 2005. But yeah, everything, it's going under. it didn't have a good way of itself making money, and you can only be free for so long before bad things happen. Yeah, the big dig, Charles. So like I said, looking at switching over to Cloudinary to host the pictures, WordPress to host the site, and then the website will be kind of generated on the fly via a database. It's really cool. My wife has been working really, really hard on that. Hey, Chris. Oh, you're a hobby photographer, so you've been using Flickr too? So you've been seeing all the signs and portents that Flickr is going under, probably. But yeah, so we're the main issue right now with switching over to this new system is the cost. So I'm trying to figure out basically how to make some money off this. So yeah, and so that's the other thing, Brian, we were looking into. The Amazon cloud services, web services, and there are some issues with that don't play well with some other things. So the basically there's two things we've been looking at. So we've been looking at the WordPress, Cloudinary, Airtable database thing, and having a really robust and searchable and have all these superpowers to it, or Amazon, where it's pretty much just cloning the Foraging Texas onto Amazon and not being good for cell phones and so forth. So there's a lot going on, and a lot to be decided. Yeah, Leonard, I'm thinking I need to. Someone suggested like twice a year having a fundraising month, and I know some other websites that do that. Kind of like the PBS, where they have the little thing saying, "Hey, we've donated this." There's lots of a lot of work, man. I get up 6:30 in the morning. Well, it doesn't matter. It's all for the good. Hey, good morning, Serenity. Okay, Margita. Okay, cool name. Hey, good morning, April. Good morning, Jennifer. Yes, Jonathan, happy Memorial Day. Man, if you'd been here earlier, you would have heard me talking about my military family members who are no longer with us. Good morning, Julie Teresa. Yeah. So, big plans, working behind the scenes. What actually happens remains to be seen. Oh, hey, hi, Sai. How long have you been watching this morning? But welcome to the tribe. Everyone say good morning to Sai. And welcome him, her to the donut shop at the beginning of the world. Carol, good morning, Carol. Yeah, please, newcomers, first time donut coffee eater drinkers, say hi so the tribe can welcome you. This is all about bonding and building relationship, and you've heard me talk about it before. Well, maybe you new people, but they've shown that the more social bonds a person has, the healthier and longer they live. So, and this time when the ability to bond is somewhat socially difficult, and it's a time when strong immune systems are necessary. It seemed like, hey, let's just have a virtual donut shop and everyone hang out and chat and bond and think good thoughts about each other and all that. And let's just get through this bad time as a big tribe rather than individual scared little families. Wow, Kyria, an ancestor who fought in the American Revolution. My grandmother and her brother visited his grave. Awesome. Oh, good morning. My bestie girlfriend. Okay, so you know people. Yeah. No, thank you. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. So there are a number of different sites that I've followed over the years, different blogs and so forth on different subjects, and really great, useful, all sorts of ton of free information. And then eventually they realize I can't keep this up, and they switch over to a paid site. And it's like, oh man, I can't get my stuff for free anymore. That sucks. And so falling into that trap with Foraging Texas. But then I understand, when you're getting 3,000 visitors a day, the bandwidth costs and so forth go up. But we'll see. Carol, y'all still in quarantine? Or are you talking about me or someone else out there? Texas is now 50% open as of last Friday. My wife is still kind of thinking quarantine thoughts though, so we still don't do much. I don't know about others. Cool. You got your well working. It's good to have water, especially out where you have, where you got to keep those rocks you grow wet, Gary. All right, what else do we got going on, tribe? I found a really great article on how to cook a brisket using just a Weber grill. And so some of you may know this if you're into cooking briskets, and usually you smoke them for a long time and smokers and all this stuff. And a Weber grill, just hey, good morning, Dana. Just the bowl, it's hard to maintain the temperature, and you constantly got to be lifting the thing and adding more charcoal. And so they always said, no, you can't do a brisket. You can't cook a brisket for 8 hours in a Weber grill. It doesn't work. And then they figured out the old trick of the charcoal snake, where at the bottom of the grill, you basically lay out in a circle around on the grill a snake of charcoal, and you light one end, and then for the next hours, the fire moves down through the snake of charcoal and maintains it at just the right temperature. And so I want to try that. I don't have a brisket, I don't have a Weber grill, but it's on my list of things to try. But if you look up, who was it? It was some Texas food magazine actually talked about that. Whoops, let's see. Oh, Alicia, my uncle is a paratrooper jumping out of planes for the Army. Ooh, passed in Staten Island in February. And Dad was a Navy medic. Now that's awesome. Cool. Oh, Charles, okay. Where do I get the most commission for my book? So if you want to buy my book, the only way I get money from it is if you use one of the links to Amazon from the Foraging Texas website, because then Amazon pays me a 6% commission on the price. If you just go to Amazon or Barnes & Noble or eBooks or something like that, I get nothing. You have to go through that specific link on Foraging Texas, and I got it multiple places on the Foraging Texas page. And then that will get me around 80 cents right now per book. So that's pretty awesome. Oh, and I will say also, if you buy it from Amazon, I get the sales commission on the book. And then for the next 24 hours, I get commission on anything else you bought or buy from Amazon, because they think, you went there because of me. And so they want to reward me. So I can't see who bought what, but yesterday someone bought a $200 and some faucet system from Amazon in addition to my book, and that got me like $3. So that was cool. Yes, Chris, I was out on Saturday looking, and then the Mustangs were absolutely loaded up in the College Station area. And usually that's a pretty good indicator. It looks like it's going to be another good year for grapes. It was a good year for grapes last year. Actually, last year was an absolutely fantastic year for grapes. I would say this year is going to be slightly less, but still really, really, really good. Okay, let's see. Oh, wow, your father-in-law is a CB. Now, the CBs were cool. Let's give, hello, lizard. Let's give, soldiers hammers and guns, and then they got to build things and destroy other things. Let's see. Look for a raisin variety. That's a good question. I don't know. I would say the muscadines, just because of they're already very, very sweet, would make interesting raisins, but I've never really looked into that. Talk to J. Bill Miller's dad about Weber grills. He's a Weber grill guru. Cool. No, I haven't priced brisket. I'm kind of terrified of what brisket might be because it's, kind of expensive. All the meat's expensive. I wanted to get some steaks. I haven't had a steak in a while. And then you go to the store and see the price of the steak, and it's good. Okay, not going to be steak. Back to the spam aisle. Navy World, he was Hiroshima 2 weeks after their bombing. Wow. Cool, April. Currents. Leonard, the berry we normally think of as a currant doesn't do well down here in Texas. Trying to think of a good replacement. Yeah, don't really know of any good replacements for the currant. That particular kind of tart. I guess maybe a mayhaw, but that needs a swamp. But really, yeah, I think the mayhaw from a flavor point of view. Sorry, there's things biting my legs. I wish I could show you my legs. Maybe I will. I was out Saturday and I forgot to put the insect repellent on my feet, and so my legs are just a mass of chigger bites. Wow. Okay, it's 8:04. All right, people. I got stuff to do. I got things to write. I got lots to test. So I will see you again tomorrow, tribe. Thank you for the new people. Hopefully you enjoyed what you saw. And then return. So again, happy Memorial Day, tribe. Keep some thoughts together for those who served and did not return or have gone on to their final reward, because we're thankful for them. Okay. Skin's too hard to do raisins. Yeah, stay dry, safe day. Oh, 2 feet from the water table. Ew. I'm sorry, I'm reading the comments because you guys are all fascinating to me. Okay, I gotta run. Otherwise, I'm not going to get everything done. Bye-bye. Oops, yes, end broadcast.